Hello everyone, how y'all doing? This is the FM Dugout and welcome back to I'll Take the Low Road, the journey of Peebles FC. So we're now into our third season, and after two back-to-back promotions, we're sitting in Scottish Football League 2. And today's game is against premiership opposition in the first round of the Scottish League Cup against St Mirren at home. So it's going to be a challenge today, and I think this season is going to be a bit of a challenge as well. But what you will notice is I haven't done an end of season review or kind of montage like I did the last time of some of the best goals. Just because I've been short of time recently, I haven't pulled that together, and I've just been wanting to sort of crack on with the actual games and getting on up through the divisions as quickly as we can, given the fact Football Manager 2016 is just around the corner. So if you guys missed it, let me know in the comments section, and I'll make sure come the end of this season in Scottish Football League 2 that I'll do just that. So what's happened since the last time? Well, we got a promotion and we had to really try and find a way to sign players without having any money. Now, I tried to do the same tactic as last year with the friendlies. It wasn't quite as successful this year. Stupid mistake for myself was I scheduled the friendlies too late, and in doing so it meant they started clashing with some of the early fixtures in the league or the cups, so wasn't really too clever. Celtic turned me down again, and the Rangers game that I had got rescheduled, so we only managed a few, and it now means that our balance is actually at this point in the season, 30th of July, we're 8k in the red. So this cup game against St Mirren is particularly important because we really need to try and get as far as we can. But as I say, they are premiership opposition, albeit they only just came up from the championship last year. But even so, it's still going to be a pretty big challenge for us. So obviously we've had a transfer window, well, it's still going on at the moment, and we've got a few signings to talk about, a few leavers as well, so let's take a look at how that's gone. So on the leavers side, we'll cover that first. A few sort of bigger names here. We've got Mike Jack and Callum Thompson leaving the club. So Mike Jack was our player of the year in the first season. I've taken a bit of heat from the board. They didn't really like him leaving, and he was a fan favourite. He's now at Rugby, got himself a new club. You know, he's a very, very good player, but he's 33 years old, and his skills maybe not quite as good as what I've got at the club at the moment. Callum Thompson was a useful defender. He's, had 37 games for us, played very well in the first year, not so well in the second year, didn't get as many games, so you kind of expect that. He did a job for us, but again, just want things to progress. But the trouble is, with Callum, I think I might have given him a contract, but he wasn't happy and he wasn't prepared to talk, so, away you go. Then we've got some of the other guys that have left here. So Robbie McManus, Joe Galbraith, I'm not sure, no, Ian Russell was a regen. Robbie McManus and Joe Galbraith were with us in the first season, as was Jordan Scott. So those guys have now left, as well as three regens that just didn't really seem as though they were going to go anywhere. I don't think I was paying them any wages either, but I just wanted to streamline the squad a little bit, and these guys, certainly Tom Duff, Ross Lowe, were sitting in the first team pool as kind of backup. So those are the leavers. In terms of the joiners, two that we knew about before. Robert McAllister did get his deal to go through, and he looks a pretty useful player, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to move Jack on. This boy's on a good £85 a week, pretty low. He's 19 years old, and he's got some pretty good stats here. Certainly flair and dribbling and long shots will prove quite useful, I think, in the hole. Moving on to Sam Liddington, showed him previously. Pretty good player. I think he'll be playing second string to our regular left back. I've forgotten his damn name now. Yeah, that'd go down well. Danny McClelland, that'd go down well at Team Talks. What's your name again? I can't remember. So those were the two that we knew about before. Then we've got 3 loan signings, all from sort of bigger teams. Jai Katongo, I actually looked at him when he was on a free transfer and tried to get him, and Rangers managed to sign him. So I took him on loan, not paying anything for his wages, and I think he's a good worker, good fitness, work rate. Again, flair's quite good, dribbling's a bit lower, crossing's not amazing, so he might not be the best winger, but certainly in terms of giving McDougall a run for his money, it's not a bad signing at all. Then the next two, because we lost Callum Thompson, we only had 2 centre-backs in Frank McKeown and Andy McLean, so I've gone for 2 centre-backs from premiership clubs on loan, youngsters, and the skills are good enough, determined, brave, aggressive, decent work rate, fitness, strength and stamina both in the double figures, and then obviously tackling, marking and heading not too bad either. And Sean has played a number of friendlies and not been too bad, although I think he was sent off in one of the friendlies. And then Daniel Black, similar kind of player, similar age, very good physicals for someone who's 17 years old. Not the quickest or most agile, but certainly in terms of his jumping, his fitness, his strength and stamina, that's really good for a 17-year-old. Bravery's nice and high, determination, aggression, again things you'd probably want to see in a centre back. And again 8-9-9 for heading, marking and tackling. He's played a few times as well, not as good as Sean Murray's performances. And then the crown jewel here of the signings. Now, I don't know how many people are familiar with Scottish football, but Dundee United have always had a decent number of youngsters at their club, and Scott Lochhead is one of those guys. Now, I was kind of surprised he was let to leave on a free transfer. You can see where his history's had. He's been a youth at Rangers, Celtic, and then Dundee United. Had 3 games in the Scottish Premiership last year. Got a player of the match as well and an assist. Really good. And for whatever reason, he's left Dundee United, and somehow I've managed to convince him. So I had the ability to talk to him. I don't get that with every player. And I just told him passionately that I thought he could become a legend here. I could win a few cups. And he seemed quite happy to talk to me. But yeah, this guy's going to be the standout this year, I think. Really, really good technical stats as far as I'm concerned for someone in that kind of position. First touch, passing, technique, all nice and high. And you look at the positions he can play. He can play out wide, he can play up top or right across the midfield, crossing a 12. Not bad at corners. Free kick taking is probably the best we've got at the club. Long shots 11 as well. Tackling 8. So he's got tackling that's almost as good as some of the centre backs I just showed you a couple of minutes ago. And then mental side of things, good work rate. Across the board, really good sort of double figures. Bravery is a little bit low, but he's a playmaker. He's not a ball winner. Maybe balance could be a bit better. Then he'd be better sort of dribbling, holding the ball and beating players. Natural fitness 17 is really good. So I'm really pleased with that. And to get him in at £200 a week at this level is absolutely fantastic. So he's one to look out for. So those are the signings, and I think the squad's shaping up quite nicely. So let's take a look at how the friendlies turned out. So you can see here we had 2 home games against English opposition. Can't remember what league they're in, Championship and both championships. And we managed to only play 2 teams in Scotland to try and get some funds playing away from home. As I say, I missed out on Hearts and Rangers, and Celtic turned us down. So that's what we were left with, was just Hibs and Dundee United. Now, not so good in terms of the score lines. I mean, this game was just absolutely crazy against Lothian Thistle. To concede 4 goals in a game and still win by scoring 6 is a bit mental. And I think we were 3-0 up. Yeah, 3-0 up. And then they just pegged us back to 3-3 Then we scored another 2. So it was, one of those kind of games where it just seemed that everything was flying in. We then played Bolton, and pretty respectable loss there. It was 2-1 until right in the sort of last 10 minutes, and we had a man sent off as well. So I think we did relatively well. I mean, you look at the stats here, that's pretty good going for a fourth tier Scottish football team against an English championship. Yes, they deserved to win without a doubt, but we played relatively well. Okay, I mean there's nobody over 7 apart from the guy Andy McLean, who I took off as a sub in 68 minutes because I just didn't want him sent off as well. Yeah, I was okay with that. We managed to score, which is something that we didn't do against Burnley, but we only lost 1-0 here. But very different game. We definitely didn't have as many chances against us as perhaps you'd expect. Possession again about that 46 mark. So happy with that. Look at the attendance here. We get 2,000. What did we get against Bolton? 2,223. So it's nice to see the stadium full. We then played away to Hibs. Now, obviously, we beat them last year in a friendly, but we lost. This goal was after 23 seconds, and we just weren't able to get another goal. But both sides very wasteful. More possession for us here, which is really encouraging because Hibs, I believe, are in the Scottish Premiership now. Yes, they are. So that was pretty good. I was quite pleased that we only lost 1-0 there. We then had our first game of the season. Now, the reason why I didn't do this as a live com was because I wanted to do the St Mirren game. It was obviously the bigger of the two. I was really, really pleased to come out with such an emphatic scoreline. Now, they are one division above us, and to beat them 4-0, I was really, really happy with that. And the stats tell the same sort of story as we've been seeing the last 2 years in the game. 61% possession, much more shots on goal than they had, and more fouls, obviously. But yeah, we're over that 50% mark in terms of shots on target, which is always really important. It's one thing creating the chances, but you need to make the keeper work. So very, very happy with that. Some good performances. Jai Katongo had an excellent game, 8.3. Likewise, Danny McClelland. So very, very happy with that. And we are playing Livingston in the next round, I believe, which is away from home a couple of games from now. And then we had a final friendly that we chucked in against Dundee United, which was the Wednesday before where we are now, to play St Mirren. So I played a second string team. This was all about getting money from the friendly, so I wanted to keep the first team kind of fit and fresh for today's game. And yeah, rightly so, Dundee United tore us a new one, so to speak. Massively in control in terms of shots on target. We scored 2, albeit 1 from the penalty spot, and Sean Murray's was from a corner. And we lost 1 goal later on, which made it look a little worse. But to be honest, I've no complaints over the scoreline. They were the better team throughout. But we got a couple of K for it. So anyway, that's how things have gone so far this season. And yeah, today, St Mirren, Premier League opposition. So without any further delay, let's get to today's team selection. So I'm actually going to go with one of our backup formations, one of the more defensive minded ones, just because I think it's going to be a difficult match for us, and I would like to see us keep things sort of tight at the back for 60-70 minutes or so, and then maybe sort of bring on some impact players and see whether or not we can actually sort of steal the game, if you like. We don't really have any natural defensive midfielders who are, really good, so I think Mossy and Wingate might be our best option. Ewan Smith to give us a little bit of creativity in front, and yeah, I think Jones, McCann and Katongo hopefully should give us enough firepower and pace. Yeah, okay, let's sort this bench out and see a few guys are a bit tired after that friendly game, but we need the money, so it has to be done. Now, Lockhead, I don't know whether I drop Mills or Jeffries. I'm going to drop Mills, because I've already got a left back, and Lockhead can play anywhere, and I think Jeffries probably has the better career path ahead of him, put it that way. It's a nice way of saying it. I think Jamie Mills has been excellent for us, but he's going to peak out at some point, either this year or next. I just don't see him improving much more. Okay, it's worthwhile noting as well, we've actually got one signing in the pipeline. Tom Walsh, who in this game was at Rangers, has now been freed. Potentially going to be signing him now. In the game, he plays as a striker. In real life, he's kind of more of a winger. But it could spell the end of Patrick Martin or Glory Natumba's time. Neither of them are particularly happy at the moment anyway, playing a kind of bit part. So might well be that Tom Walsh comes in with Michael Jones and maybe look to get a striker in on loan as the cover, who, it doesn't really matter if they don't get game time and get upset about it. So I think this is probably the team we want to go with. Steve McDougall's carrying a knock, so we can't get him on the bench. Robert McAllister, probably nah. I mean, if we go to having a player behind the front man, it's going to be Lockhead or it's going to be Jeffries, one of the two. It's a strong bench, pretty good bench, it must be said. I'll swap them round. A little bit of OCD, like my defence and goalkeepers at the first three. Yeah, okay, we'll give it a shot. I mean, I think we're pretty familiar with it. We'll take a look at the team instructions here. We want to retain possession. What else do we want to do? Drop deeper, yeah, we want to do that. We've got counters or mentality. Early crosses. Probably whipped crosses again. I'd like to do that. And yeah, okay, well, I think that'll do for now. I don't want to kind of affect our passing. I don't want to do one particular type of passing in this game. Okay. The only thing was Drew Wingate and Mossy, I think, might have played in that friendly against Dundee United. Change of tactics, blah blah blah. Yeah, why not? Don't care about him. Okay, so they're lining up. Right, so with our two guys, they'll just sit there in front of Low and beginning mana. McCausland will kind of line up against Ewan Smith. Got to watch out for Craig McHale-Smith. Looking at this, we got Remy Street, beginning mana, and McHale-Smith. That's quite an impressive lineup they've got, I think. Okay, underdogs and faith in you. To be honest, I'm just giving the same team talk all the time now. Yeah, definitely want counter. Okay, let's see how this goes, boys. Normally I don't like changing formations, but I just get the feeling that they are a premiership side. In the friendlies we've played this year, we've not done too badly, but we have ended up losing. We've had more shots against us, so maybe if we try and be a bit more cautious, see if we can maybe hit them on the break, we might get something out of it. Now, Harry Stewart's picked up a knock, but yeah, that's him. Game over. Not the best start. I think what we'll have to do is probably put Mossy at right back and then look to play. Now, McManus doesn't like that position, but I think Ewan Smith's not too bad. And then swap him round maybe with Wingate. Yeah, I think that'll have to do. Fitness might be a problem for us. I can see Mossy's at 74% already. 10 minutes to go in the first half is not ideal. So as you can see from the stats, St Mirren have been in control of the game. and that is a terrible pass. What on earth was that? Good save, Brown. Suicide there from Michael Mossy. Really poor. Can we defend the corner? I think this could be a sort of backs to the wall job, as I say, until we maybe sort of hit somewhere around the 60-70 minute mark, and then we might try and open things up a little bit depending on how it's gone. And certainly possession wise, we're at 39% here. It's definitely, we're playing different from our usual. Okay, so we can still come out with a win today. We definitely can. I'm not going to be too harsh on them. I mean, I know the ratings are quite low, but they're doing well for who they're playing. 0-0 at half time. We've got every chance to do something in the second half. Yeah, I mean, we really are just getting every man behind the ball, but that's fine. That's how I wanted to set the team up today, and we're approaching that magical hour mark. Bit worried at the two fullbacks both having yellow cards. Could be a red card on the horizon, and we don't really have anyone for the right. Liddington can play in the left. Katongo, he curls it into the top corner. That came out of the blue, our first shot on target. And this is the sort of thing that happens to human managers in this game. You just get absolutely fuming when you lose a goal to a team who have been definitely second best at everything. They get one shot on target and score. Okay, now McManus is injured. So, Lockhead or Jeffries? I think Lockhead's got more about him. I think Jeffries is... Yeah, I think we'll go with Lockhead here. Can we see this one out? I mean, kind of tempted to pull McCann and Katongo back, but they just leave Jones up there. It's pointless. At least this way we have a chance of getting a counter, just as we did with Katongo. It was a very sort of quick break and a strange clearance. It just fell to Katongo. An excellent finish. Look at look at the stats. Oh my goodness, how on earth have we done this? 3 minutes to go while we ride it out. Oh, blow for full time. 30 shots at goal and only 6 on target. This is a true smash and grab, boys. That's absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe we've done that. That is unbelievable. Guys, fantastic job. They're all absolutely knackered as well now. Danny McClelland, 8.6, man of the match. I mean, look at the stats. Actually, you know, possession-wise, it's not too bad, but we really have just invited them on us. But do you know what? The defence has done an excellent job there. Really, really pleased with that. So we make the second round of the Scottish League Cup, dumping out Premiership opposition. Survive is definitely the right word there. So, let's take a look at the fixtures and see how things will go from here. So, we've got an unknown League Cup second round. Might do that game. In terms of the the league this year, I think, were predicted to finish second, and I think Clyde were the team that were predicted to win. Yeah, so I would have thought Airdrie would have been early favourites, having been relegated recently. So may do the Clyde game. It depends who we get in the League Cup. Is that draw actually taking place just now? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll see who we draw in the League Cup second round. Obviously, if it's going to be a big team, those are the games we want to see. That's where we want to be ultimately in a few years' time. So I'll probably do that game. If it's not a big team, then yeah, Clyde game's a bit early, so I might do the Airdrie game. Let us get a few games under our belt in the league and see how it goes. But yeah, that's absolutely cracking start there. So we've had 2 cup wins in our first 2 games, both against teams in higher divisions. But yeah, we really locked out today. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed our giant killing today. If you have, make sure you leave a like and a comment. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you come back for more Peebles action. Until the next time, I'll see you when I see you.